Hey everyone, welcome back to the All Music Matters Net podcast. I'm your host Brian. Joining me today are some special guests hailing from up north in Canada. We got Damien, we got Jesse, and we got T-Bob from the band Crimson Asphalt. How y'all doing today, brothers?
Pretty good.
Excellent.
Fantastic.
That's good to hear. Which part of Canada are you guys hailing from?
Southern Ontario.
In Ontario, close to where Toronto is?
Niagara Falls.
More Niagara Falls. I actually remember being there a couple times, and first time was when I was pretty young too. They used to have like the little amusement park, and I forget which hotel we actually stayed at too. But Niagara Falls is always pretty nice too. So, you guys born and raised there, or you guys moved around a good bit?
Yeah, pretty much born and raised.
Yeah, born and raised.
All right, that's good to hear. I guess what's new? So I guess Damien, what's new?
Well, we're working on our second EP, which is called Roadkill. We dropped our first single off it last month called Blink of an Eye, and our second single is in the mixing process right now. We recorded last week with Brody Grummett from Killing Cosmos. Fantastic guy, excellent producer, and like real death metal head. So given that Scrambles is a really heavy song, we wanted to go with death metal producer, and we're really excited about how it's going to turn out and just how heavy it can possibly sound given a whole different producer.
All right, sounds good. Let's check out some of your music too. So you get to elaborate on that in just a little bit here too. But I just want to welcome you guys to my podcast right here. And the way it's going to work is I'm going to ask you guys some questions. Let's get to know you more both as the individuals, but also as the musicians too. So y'all ready?
Absolutely.
But as ready as we can be.
All right. So Damien, we'll start with you. We'll start first. Get to know about you in general, I guess. How did you become a musician?
Well, when I was about 5 years old, my father had a bass guitar underneath his bed. It was a 6-string Rickenbacker. And I, being really small at the time, thought that it was a 6-string guitar. So I started trying to play Black Sabbath along with records when my dad was at work. And I snuck the bass that way, thinking it was a guitar until I figured out Paranoid. At which point, I started trying to get my hands on an actual guitar.
All right. And I guess Jesse?
Yeah, we had some friends that played guitar and like when we were young. So probably I was maybe 10 or 11 years old. And, grunge was really popular at the time. And, we just decided to pick it up and try and form a band with our friends. And then, it was pretty much all snowballed ahead from there. Until, I started playing.
Yeah. All right. And team up?
I started earlier than 13. I got my first kit when I was 13. And I started playing drums because my older brother was playing guitar. He ripping electric guitar. We had our own band back then, Internal Damnation, and then pretty much went from there. Yeah, I guess I started when I was 13.
Did you all play in middle school and high school? Do you like anything like the bands or any string instruments, kind of like violin or cello?
No. I actually ended up just playing drums in a music class and never read a single note. I just played whatever the hell I felt like.
That's normally how it goes for us drummers.
Like that too. No.
Okay. And I guess for the audience, tell us what's your role in the band Crimson Asphalt? Damien?
I'm the singer, guitarist, booking agent, graphic designer, manager, engineer, mixer, master, production assistant.
The list could go on if you
like.
want.
I designed the t-shirt, write the lyrics. I just play the fucking guitar around here, man.
He's the one holding down the fort, as we probably like to say. So I guess, Jesse, you're the bass player, and I guess you do backing vocals?
Yeah, a little bit here and there whenever it's required. I don't do any gutter rolls or toilet noises or pig noises or anything like that. So if there's something more, if there's something more clean that we require, then usually I'm in there with that.
All right. I guess, Team Up, do you do any vocal works, or can you just do strictly drums and play like an animal?
Yeah, for Crimson Asphalt, I'm the fucking skin smasher, bud. That's it.
I love it too. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about Crimson Asphalt in general. I guess, how the band formed. I guess, who wants to give the history lesson?
I'll leave that to you guys for sure.
Yeah. Well, it pretty much started. I was in a band before this one. We didn't really have a name or anything, but it was short-lived, and I wanted to start playing again. So I got a hold of Damien, and at the time, my stepbrother, who was a drummer, and I'm like, let's start playing stuff. Let's see what happens. And we finally got ourselves in a room together, and we're noodling about, and what came out actually sounded good. It's actually what we noodled that day was Chaos and Ivy. It pretty much wrote a song without trying. And we're like, wow, we should probably try to take this somewhere else.
I guess, how did you guys meet? Were you guys friends in high school or anything, or did you guys just happen to cross each other one day?
Damien and I have been friends since high school, like grade 9, 10. And D-Mob here, he came in later, like after my stepbrother didn't want to play the drums up for us anymore. We were looking for another drummer. He saw our first show, and I don't know what your thoughts were that day.
I was crushing it. You guys were fucking up my alley for sure. Right?
And then you just showed up. You were supposed to just come see us play, and then Jacob didn't show up. We're like, well, you want to give it a shot?
And the rest is history.
And the rest is history, yep.
And the rest is history, as they would say. I guess, who came up with the name Crimson Asphalt? Yep. Fancy term for curb stomp.
That's a good analogy.
That's a good analogy. But actually, no, there was a tragic car accident on my way to practice on Christmas Eve. And all the rest of the road was covered in snow except for where all the blood was. And it turned the asphalt red. And I was like, that's a pretty good fucking band name.
We were looking for a name for a long time, too.
Yeah, we had a lot of bad band names.
I'm sorry to hear that, too.
Someone had to die, but it's a damn good band name.
Biggest glitch.
And we weren't involved in the accident. I want to make that clear.
Thank God, yeah. It's good to hear, too. I know it's kind of tragic for, I guess, the person who happened to be that. But from that will rise the metal bands that we know today as the Crimson Asphalt. There you go. Inspiration comes in odd ways at times. That's for sure. So, I guess moving on to the next one right here, I guess. Damien, who would you consider has been your biggest influence? Because I know you talked about Black Sabbath earlier, trying to do some of their music like Paranoid.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, Sabbath was really big early on guitar. But I think, honestly, like, it was when I found heavier stuff than that. Like Sepultura and Slayer. Max Cavalera has always been a really huge influence. Burton C. Bell and Dino Cesaris from Fear Factory, both vocally and on guitar. I hear so many comparisons when people see us live. They'll always tell us we sound like this band or that band with this twist and that twist. And I gotta say, like 80% of the bands that people name, I have never heard a note of. I know it sucks because there's like a certain amount of music you should have intake by like my age and the time I grew up in. But there's just so much music out there that, you know, some stuff gets dropped by the wayside, and I've totally gone back and listened to the Elvis We Sound Like It. I'm like, I could see that. Like a Helmet was an early that I'd never heard of in my life. Besides, in the old guitar world, they had the list of T-shirts you could order. Helmet was on there, so that was the extent of my Helmet experience. But looking back, I could totally see that in some of our tunes anyway. Just weird the way that I guess good music just is good music, and everything that you could possibly play on a guitar has been played before in every possible order. Really just gotta give it your flavor and what makes it you.
Yeah, that's for sure. And I guess D-Mob and Jesse, who would you consider has been your influence in terms of your instruments and crafts?
Well, I always liked Primus since the first time I watched Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. I used to listen to a lot of White Zombie and Rob Zombie, going to their shows and concerts and stuff. And yeah, I wanted to be up there. So, you know, just a lot of the you know, people with showmanship and everything on stage, and not just playing their instruments, was what I got into.
Do you do more of the finger picking, or do you also use a pick?
I mostly use a pick for a lot of our stuff. We have a lot of fast picking stuff, and
It's heavy fun.
yeah, it's just I couldn't keep up with just using finger picking, so I just went with an actual one of these yellow triangle picks. I always keep them on me. One of these guys.
Keeps a little inventory on hand. It's always good to have.
Yeah. And it allows me to keep up with most stuff.
All right, and D-Mob?
Yeah, I guess in the beginning I was inspired by like new metal. You know, Korn. I seen a music video from Korn on MTV, and that inspired the fuck out of me. Tool was a good one. I went and seen them live when I was like in grade 7. Fuck, I was young. You know, growing up into my teens and stuff like that. Yeah, like more like Opeth and more psychedelic metal, melodics, you know, shit like that. So I'd say those are some pretty, you know, yeah, those are definitely the bands that inspired me. I'd say, like, yeah.
I would say you definitely remind me more of like doing a Joey Jordison sort of style drumming. So I guess was he also a part of the list too?
Oh yeah, for sure. Slipknot for sure. Yeah, Slipknot definitely was a huge inspiration as well in that era, right? Like, you know.
Yeah, they still got it a little bit today, even though they lost some of the members right now. So may Joey rest in peace. So it's a shame to lost him too soon there. Jump into the next question right here, I guess. So talk about the gear that you guys use too. So I guess Damien, what sort of guitars do you roll with there? Because I'm seeing a good bit on the wall. So I guess walk us through what you got.
Well, I have about 43 of them in here, but I only play one, which is my ESP Explorer. It's a fucking workhorse. Every show we've ever played, that's been the one I played. I bought it for this band, along with my signature Marshall that I fucking, and I don't know of any guitar that is as versatile as that one and dependable.
That is
Just day in, day out, no matter how hard I bang on her, she's right there. So I gotta say it's all day. It's the ESP Explorer H150.
That's pretty sweet. 43 guitars. You're running out of space right there. Or are all those acoustics from earlier? Is that all Damien's?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, man, you're a hoarder at this point. So that's pretty interesting. So, and we get a nice view of it all. Look at that. All right. That's so sweet too. And this is all part of the downstairs basement, or I guess what's this little HQ that D-Mob was mentioning about earlier?
Yeah, it's an interesting building. It's a decommissioned barn.
Oh, so this isn't like a basement. This is just strictly like a barn you just happen to convert into a studio.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What does that
So
name?
the space is about roughly around 40.
Oh, that's pretty sweet. I actually do know a friend of mine who was also a drummer there, and he actually converted the room, and I think it might have been a barn. I'm not too sure. I think he converted it into a studio as well too. So, and Canadians know to make do with like space or anything of empty buildings for that matter. So I guess talk about that studio a little bit too. I guess Jesse, is this your studio that you made?
Yes. Yeah. I've had this place for quite some time now. I've been here for 15 years.
I guess how'd you find it? I guess what's the history behind it?
Well, outside of the band, I am a chicken farmer. So we bought this farm years ago to expand on the business, and this building was just not up to snuff for doing that with. So we converted it into some sort of man cave in the beginning, and then it was my Halloween party spot, and then now it's the studio.
That's pretty sweet. You do all the recording in here too, or I guess how do you guys do recording wise?
All our original recordings were done in here on the sweetest potato ever. I mean, a phone.
The sweetest potato ever. Of course, it would be a phone.
Yeah.
So.
And so we actually use this space to record scrambles. So we're waiting to see how well that turns out on a more higher production system than a cell phone.
Okay.
It should be interesting.
Good to add a little bit more, but I guess talk about what kind of gear you use, Jesse. And then D-Mob, you can follow up afterwards.
I like my Ampeg stuff, but I just recently changed to a Mark bass head with the Gallion Kruger cabinet. And what I use for my bass most of the time is either my Epiphone Thunderbird Gothic 4, or I have my first bass was a PV Foundation jazz style bass.
Is it a 4-string or is it also 5 or 6 string?
Yeah, they're both 4-string.
What kind of tuning do you use most of the time?
Yeah, we're in C, drop C.
Drop C. Okay. I was always trying to remember. I was trying to remember like how the tuning works too, because I do a little bit of bass at times. I just remember more like the B string and everything else too. So that's about the extent of my knowledge too. I mainly roll with standard tuning really. So
I recently bought a 5-string, and hopefully in the future we'll be writing some songs with the 5 and 7-string guitars.
All right. And D-Mob, what kind of, is that your baby back there?
This is. Yeah, I'm rocking a Pearl. Got Evan Onyx heads on it, except for the snare. I used to use a Chad.
Guy from Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Right. Chad what? Anyway, yeah. Yeah, so no, this one, it's like I got like a How deep is this thing? It's like 8 inches deep, the snare. It's 12-inch head.
Don't know a lot about the equipment. We know it goes thump and bang and clack.
I enjoy it. I've had it for a long time. I bought it when I was 19 from my buddy Joe McNulty, and I've had it ever since. And I just reskinned it. Sounds mint.
At this point, we just make do with what we got, so that's all that matters.
Always, man. Yeah.
That's good to hear. And I guess let's go ahead and jump to the hard topic of COVID. So I guess, Damien, we'll start with you. How bad did COVID impact you, family, and then music-wise?
I mean, on a family level, it made eating grocery shopping almost, and not just for me, knocked down pretty hard. And it was in that pandemic that we actually decided to sneak past the lockdown and have practice. And it was, it was eerie. If you've ever played the Silent Hill video games, Canada's already pretty spooked how few people here, but it got really spooked. Everybody had to shop at Walmart, and now all the mom and pop stores are. I feel like I got lucky insofar as I didn't lose anybody to it, but at the same time, the adversity of that and everybody being on kind of gave us the time to put into being a band. So almost grateful it happened. Obviously, the tragedy notwithstanding. But I got really lucky. I managed to avoid getting the bid this whole time.
That's good to hear. And I guess Jesse and then D-Mob, you can follow up.
Yeah, pretty much. It was it wasn't fun. Not a lot of aspects of life changed.
No,
especially since we had practice here, so I wasn't going anywhere.
yeah, I guess not. Right?
Yeah, only doing the grocery shopping, or trying not to go out unless I really had to.
Yeah, and for me, I mean, I was doing farm machining equipment, right? So I had to keep working as usual, right? So roads were dead. There was nobody out when I went to work.
It was nice for a while.
It was pretty wild. It was very strange and vacant street, right?
I know that feeling too, and it was kind of a little strange traveling that first year, the year 2020. And as I like to say, hindsight is 2020 in this case. So,
yeah.
In certain manner of speaking, I guess, do you all work on the farm in some capacity, or is it just is it more strictly you, Jesse?
Just Jesse.
Yeah,
I'm a mechanic.
Yeah, I'm the only full-time farmer here.
Yeah, I just make farm equipment and orchard equipment, like apple machinery and conveyor belts, big dump tanks, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I fix delivery vans for Amazon.
And my farm produces eggs.
I guess before we jump into that, first off, it's good to see you guys are doing well there too. It's good to see you guys also didn't lose any family members, so it's good to have you along for the ride here. So, but I guess we'll jump into this question here because it seems like you guys work multiple jobs with doing this music project and then also working a full-time job. So I guess what's been the biggest challenge you guys face being musicians? And Damien, we'll start with you and then we'll do Jesse and then D-Mop.
And carrying all this fucking gear.
Yeah.
Gear is so loud. It takes so many speakers and so goddamn many patch cords to do what we do every weekend. And, I've asked myself, getting in and out of the van many a time, how is it that I only play 6 notes?
Oh, sorry.
And it takes 25 patch cords to do that. But that is the biggest challenge, is the gear is heavy, I am small, and I have health issues.
Everything that could go wrong, it does go wrong too. So I guess Jesse and D-Mop.
Yeah, biggest challenges here is just organizing and making sure everything's good to go before I have to leave. Because, being involved in farming, I always have to have a backup plan. If I'm not here, somebody better be able to take care of anything that ever happens. But other than that, everything's pretty easy for me to get ready.
Yeah, for me, I guess prioritizing time.
Well, a little bit of balance with family.
It's a little bit of everything too, yeah.
And your hobbies.
Yeah, exactly. You're in between having a wife and kids and a full-time job. Like you said, I got multiple projects on the go as far as music is concerned. And, this being one of them, especially. Yeah, you just got to make time for it, right?
Yeah.
And we're playing frequently. We're making a lot of shit happen around here, so it gets difficult for sure. So prioritizing time is a challenge.
People get pissed off with us with how often we're gone away and doing stuff, but
yeah,
I suppose we're in an occupation where we're going to piss people off.
They're metal. Someone's always going to get pissed off too. So.
But, yeah.
You're bound to piss somebody off when you're in a metal band, so you can see why. So
it's fine.
Yeah. This is all fine.
So yeah, it does make it sound like outside of your main jobs and then doing this, like you got pretty much multiple hobbies and everything too. So you keep yourselves busy. So
my boss has been really good about giving me time off for shows and like helping us with bands before the heat.
That's good to hear. Definitely landed yourself a good job right there, especially with you take a passionate boss too. Normally they say there's a horrible boss every now and again. So I don't know too many people who are farmers, so I'm actually curious what's the lifestyle of a farmer really? Because are you just strictly doing chickens, or do you do some other stuff?
Yeah, it's egg layers, and I raise them up to being egg layers too. So there's a lot of responsibility and just making sure everything's taken care of. It's yeah. It's not really an occupation as it is so much a lifestyle, because I'm on call 24/7. If something bad happens, I have to wake up, no matter hungover or tired I am. I have to get out there and I have to start making things happen.
You just know it's going to be a bad day when you wake up hungover. That's the thing too. So.
Well, we had a storm a couple of years ago here right before Christmas Eve, and it was super windy and super cold, and it knocked the power out, and it sucked all the heat out of the barn where I just got brand new babies in, and I'm trying to keep it warm and fighting, and things happen, right? And you go through it, and it can be tragic sometimes. But being there all the time, like especially if I can be close or whatever, it's all the better. Like I said, I always have to plan for the worst and hope for the best, sort of thing.
Yeah, look ahead to the future too, in a certain manner of speaking. So I see what you mean.
Plan A, B, C, and D, right?
Always have a contingency. That's how it goes. Yeah. So yeah.
Always have a contingency.
Yes.
Make sure somebody else is to blame when you're not there for it.
Damn it, D-Mob. That's all you gotta say.
He's with us, so it's not his fault.
He's the drummer too. He's the one who's keeping you two in check. That's the thing. So
it's probably going to be a family member or a really close friend, but more likely a family member.
I would say you either blame the first cousin or the mother-in-law. It's one of the two. So
yeah.
Okay. That's pretty cool. So I guess let's talk about more of like how you guys create your music in general too. So I guess who's really the music producer? I guess the one who's using the DAW and everything. Is that strictly you, Jesse, or do you all have a hand in like how you guys handle the production wise?
We kind of just write things together. One of us will start noodling, and the rest of us usually drop in after. Personally, for me, if I'm writing, I like to have, I would rather, a drummer or at least the metronome start going and just get a beat in my head at first, and then go out and start noodling off of that and see what comes around. But generally, like we come up with a lot of our stuff at rehearsals, just fooling around, and most of it is not recorded, which is the worst, because then we forget it immediately, and so much we lose through the void on that one.
As a consequence of short-term memory loss.
When we just get together, or if I get a drum beat or anything going on.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
But they did legalize it here in Canada.
What's that? They legalized what?
Cannabis.
Cannabis, yeah. Actually, I remember I was in Vancouver a while back, and they did mention how they legalized it all the way out there. So, I guess, so Damien, where's your inspiration for like writing guitar riffs come from too? Do you mainly listen to like other music and then try to pull what you can from that?
Not whatsoever. I just start playing, and usually after 4 bars, these cats will jump in. So that's where it comes from.
And that was our logo.
Got shot the logo and everything. So.
That's handy. But no, somebody tried calling. Yeah, I just start playing. I don't try and think about any other band when I'm writing. I just sort of play. I find that like love and music are very much like a fart, insofar as if you have to force it, it turns to shit.
Yeah. You ain't lying. I'll tell you that much. That's fair, yeah. So I guess Jesse and D-Mob, I guess, your inspiration for like trying to write the music too, I guess, how's that normally come about? Does normally Damien start with something that's like, oh, just keep playing that, let me see what I can do here? Is that how it goes, or just one day it works and it clicks?
For me, like, growing up, it was always, my brother making riffs, and I would always have a drum beat in my head. So I just manifest that into the reality, right? So if he plays the riff, or if Jesse plays the riff, like Damien plays the riff, I just instantly come up with a beat in my head, and it just translates to my hands. Beat.
Mostly.
Yep. So I literally just play the song. I don't try to do anything extravagant unless it needs it.
Yeah. Is your brother, does he play in any bands, or is he just kind of doing that as a hobby?
And that's how I see it. Oh, my brother and I are in another project ourselves, yeah.
Oh, that's pretty sweet. So you're like the Canadian Abbott brothers. You got Dimebag, and then you're the Vinnie Paul.
Yeah. Well, we've been playing for a long time, right? So I mean, we still go at it. We hang out every once in a while, and we'll make it happen.
That's pretty good. Make sure you keep on training too. And actually, it's heavenly birthday to Vinnie Paul, by the way. Actually, it was 2 days ago. So tragic too. We also lost him. So
no doubt.
May he rest in peace as well. So
Pantera, yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I got to see Pantera before Dimebag Darrell got shot. For the Far Beyond Driven tour. That was
Good.
Yeah.
That would have been a spectacle.
That was with a White Zombie and the Deftones.
So that's fucking awesome.
What a bill.
What a bill.
That was a great show.
Sounds awesome too.
I remember.
That's epic, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely inspired by Vinny and Dimebag.
Yeah. I remember, listening to the Vulgar Display of Power like over and over and over again when I was young too.
Right in the face.
Yeah. Loved the album cover. Loved a lot of songs off there, especially I think Blanc was on that album.
Yeah, my son loves it.
Yeah.
I think a funny story with Vulgar's Display of Power. I think it was just some random guy. They pull up the street and they just wanted to punch him over and over again like 31 times just to get the right picture. And hey, the guy I think made like $30 per punch.
That is random anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's
I mean, hey, it's good money.
Doing? Hey, let me try this a few more times. How much money am I getting?
They paid him something. I forget what it was. I don't know if it was like $30 a punch or something, but it was something like that. But it's a funny story. I think it was a.
At least there was some sort of compensation, not just jump out of the car and start punching some random dude. You get punched. All right, great album cover. Let's go.
I was like, that guy's life must really suck at that point. So I just say. So I guess in terms of lyrics,
Yeah,
I guess do you guys all take turns with the lyric wise, or I guess is one of you the main songwriter?
It's Damien for sure.
I guess what inspires your lyrics?
The world around me, man. Like, just situations in my life, situations in the lives of all of us. I try really, or at least I try really hard on the first album to write like deep things, that, like interpretation and very metaphorical. Then I heard rap. So now I write songs like Shit Cookies. Because honestly, I'm not trying that hard if I don't have to. People like Shit Cookies way more than Chaos and Ivy. Chaos and Ivy, I almost cry every time I sing. I have a great time singing. I get it. Attention spans are short. Like when you swear. I mean, that's also been a part of our appeal as well as we end every song with fuck.
It is
really caught on with the audience. At first, it was a bit of a tepid response, but now we get entire fuck you after every just warms my black little hair. So I mean, at least two of the lyrics to every song I've already got figured out when I start the song. So you just work your way backwards from the end, right?
Oh, that's so sweet. You know you're in a metal band where you just talk about random shit too and just want to fuck people up, that sort of thing too. So that's what I was saying earlier. I think most people would assume Crimson Asphalt is like the fancy metaphorical term for curb stomping. So that's why I brought it up earlier. Excuse me. That's pretty sweet, dude.
Our music will hit you like a curb stomp, bud.
There's a few of the songs that are definitely curb stomping.
Yep.
I say we like to be brutalized. It builds our spirit. And I guess moving on to the next ones right here. We already talked about that. I guess, are you guys part of the Facebook group Band Together?
Yes, we are.
I guess when did you guys join? And I guess is there something you hope to achieve with your social media?
Really, we just wanted to find more independent music so that we could see what else is out there. You know, it's shit. My microphone is muted. Hold on. Okay. So yeah, we just wanted to find other independent artists around the world that were kind of doing the same thing we were, and see all the fucking killer music that isn't on the radio. You know what I mean? Like, there's a million bands that no one's heard of, but absolutely have mind-blowing music, and I think the Band Together was a really good portal to find artists, I guess, not just in our genre, but on our level all over the world.
So I guess when did you guys join Band Together too? So it seems like Damien's the one who does also social media work on the side too. So
yes, I do. I think we're going on like a year in Band Together now.
Yep.
It's been a while.
I guess how'd you find out about it? Were you guys just stumble upon it one day, or
Box and Sticks.
Box and Sticks?
Box and Sticks invited us. Christina and Greg are fantastic people.
Yeah, that's for sure. Did you get invited on her the podcast yet? Boxing guest?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we've definitely done Boxing Gas. What is going on here?
We got an interruption in the action.
That's the end of
Is that the wife?
Yeah, maybe.
Someone's calling him, maybe the wife, which I guess is a good thing. So,
Maybe the wife, maybe the kids.
but I guess for the audience, what are social media are you guys on so they can check out your music and maybe reach out if they want to collab or do anything else?
We're on Facebook, Instagram. There's TikTok. There's we're on all the major streaming platforms if you want to listen to our music. I mean, we're on Apple, Spotify, YouTube Music, Deezer, whatever the hell that is. If you can find it, if you have a subscription to anything, you've got all our music.
Google will do it.
Yeah, you can honestly just Google us. It's all on YouTube for free anyway. But like our socials, Facebook.com/Crimson Asphalt. Our Instagram is /Crimson Asphalt. It's all pretty self-explanatory. I think our YouTube is Crimson Asphalt Official.
All right, make sure you guys go check him out right there. These guys are doing wonders out. So, and actually, go back to this question right here. I guess, what advice would you give to musicians in the band together group, as well as other musicians, I guess, in and around your neck of the woods? I guess.
Well, I mean, that advice is twofold. Because if I want to give them pragmatic advice that will help their lives and financially keep them afloat, it's quit. Quit now. This
Stop
is so expensive. Why is it so expensive?
You're getting 0.003%.
But if you love it, if you really want to be up there, and just take every gig you can get, remember, be on time, have your setup and tear down be a well-rehearsed part of your act as well, because being able to be up and down in time is often the difference between a show going right, show going wrong. Treat all the other musicians around you with respect and positivity, because it takes an awful lot of courage to get up and sing original music.
Yep.
No matter what genre it is, you're opening yourself to your peers. And all of us that have been to high school know how fucked up it is to go out there in front of a bunch of people your age and be like, here, I made this. It's not easy. But if you love it, if you really want to be up there, fucking stick to it, because the payoff is worth it, as long as you are willing to continue to hemorrhage money until you die or people stop caring about your band, one or the other.
Exactly.
That's one way of putting it, yeah. I don't know who was listening, but apparently it was like he just suddenly slowed down. It was all of a sudden his voice was like coming in increments. Then all of a sudden it just sped up for some reason too. So it's almost like the machine was listening. So apparently the machine hates you people for some reason. So
that's because we rage against it.
Yeah, we rage against it.
Yeah.
Rage against the machine. So that's all good. So
We're not big on robots either. So.
No, we have songs about how much we hate robots.
I guess speaking of which, what's your take on AI? Because it seems like I'm hearing some mixed reception about it taking over for like making like album art, for instance.
Man, I would absolutely love for AI to write our next album. I would love not to have to do it. Like,
But
that shit takes time and effort and energy. And if AI can write a better album than me, just by listening to my first two albums, they'll extrapolate what I'd write. Perfect, I'll learn it and we'll go play it. But I think it's really incredible and really scary, because some of the things that I've seen done with it, like bringing Kurt Cobain back from the dead for a new song, that's fucking crazy.
remastering a Beatles song that shouldn't even have existed.
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of AI generated stuff, like Scars on Broadway, if Serge Tankian was the singer, and like different mix-ups of things with AI vocals on them, and they're flawless. As a singer, I almost don't even want to bother anymore, because it's going to do a better job of it. It never gets a sore throat. But one thing AI cannot fucking do is get out in front of a crowd and make them mosh. Just can't do it. You still need us. So here we are. And we're going to lug all this heavy-ass equipment to a town near you. And AI still can't do that. So when it can do that, that's when I'll start sweating.
Yeah.
But until that moment, I think we're pretty much good. Most musicians are. If you're threatened by another creative force, be it organic or not, you're probably in this for the wrong reasons. No, like no other artist is competition. And if this artist is mechanical, well, does that make it not art? I don't know. Like the Corvette was created by giant stamps in factories that pushed out the fenders, but it still took a person to design it. And AI can't do anything without us providing it stuff to learn from. So there's always going to be a need for organic human performers, is the point I'm trying to make.
Amen to that. Yeah, I can understand why. Actually, I was picturing if they're lugging the equipment then, and they're actually the ones performing, I'm going to say then we've entered the age of the Terminator, in this case.
I can't wait.
Listen.
Yeah.
Terminator is out there.
Yeah, exactly.
It can't be bargained with. It can't be reasoned with. It doesn't feel pity or remorse or fear. And it absolutely will not stop, ever, until you are dead.
No remorse. Actually, we cue the Metallica song too right there. No remorse, no repent. We don't care what it meant. So I can say why. But I forgot to ask this earlier. I guess, how is the music scene in your neck of the woods? Has that kind of recuperated since COVID, or has it been kind of up and down?
Our music scene is actually pretty badass. It's not bad for between a 2-hour drive from here. You know what I mean? Like in all directions. There's there's a lot of support out here. There's a lot of extra bands doing some pretty fucking awesome stuff. I mean, we're repping some bands right now. We got Itis over here. We're
Dawn
rocking
Valley,
Pro-Sector.
Divine Curse, Omnivert, Evil Villain, Detest. There are so many amazing bands stuck in neutral in our scene that are just doing phenomenal things. Cryophilic. If you've never heard Cryophilic, one of the best death metal bands there are. And they're from like 20 minutes from here.
Yeah.
Guy lives in a townhouse. It's a crazy scene. We're lucky.
Yeah, we got a lot of guys crushing it out here, man.
Let's say let's go party at that guy's house. So
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. My throat's not getting itchy.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get coughing fits right now. I think you guys are affecting me with your coughing fits right now. So
Yeah.
It's all the cannabis, man.
that too. That's also.
Second hand through Skype.
Somehow we're able to.
Update.
Yeah.
It's a new feature and update too. Instead of now doing the beer, which we used to do with the iPhones way back in the day, now we're able to move cannabis through. You see what I mean? Now I'm starting to get the coughing thing. So that's all good though. I guess here we got for the questions here pretty good. So let's go ahead and jump to the fun ones. You guys ready?
Yep.
All right.
So Damien, we'll start with you, then Jesse, and then D-Mob. So we'll go in that order for each question right here. So I guess Damien, what would you consider has been your favorite food?
Soup.
The straight soup. Is there a particular one?
Chicken and rice.
Healthy choice. Okay. And Jesse?
My favorite food is salmon sashimi.
Was it not scrambled eggs? I mean, you're the one that's also an egg farmer too.
No, you'd think that I would like eggs all the time. I almost hate them. But I'd rather go and grab some sushi anytime.
Basically, it's good to put them in a mental asylum. You can't stand inside and look at that egg anymore. So,
actually, on the bigger farms too, they can only work on the line when they're collecting for so many hours because they will start to go crazy.
I can say why. You see too much white after a while.
A little bit smaller out here. It only takes about, it doesn't take that long to collect the eggs, but when it takes you over 4 or 6 hours to collect eggs, staring at them coming in for that long will mess with your head. It's like highway hypnosis in the same way. Like if you're driving in the fog or in the snow or anything like that, and it just starts to affect you on a longer time scale.
I can say why too. Stare at too much white too. So I guess is it a bad thing that if you come out and you stare at too much white people? No, we're walking here in the sea right here. There's too many white people around here too. Which one's you? So, guess
Get that, white people.
Yeah.
I guess D-Mob, what would you say is your favorite food?
Steak, brother.
He's a carnivore. I like it.
Just give me any type of steak and I'm happy. Yeah. Top sirloin. Yeah, see you lick your lips.
I'm salivating. So yeah.
Steak, bro. For sure. Any kind.
Do you have a particular one? I was going to say, do you have a particular favorite one, like filet, sirloin, porterhouse?
No, any kind, anytime.
I guess how you like it cooked.
Yeah, just all right, medium.
That's fair enough.
Because when you say medium to most restaurants, they'll give you medium rare. That's the way it is.
I'd say mid-well, maybe because it gets a little too much chewy if there's still a little much juice in it too.
Yeah, but I can handle a medium one if they do it wrong.
I would say there is such a thing as Pittsburgh rare. You just literally throw a steak down, you just burn the outside, but it's still pretty rare on the inside. So,
oh yeah, my buddies like them blue.
Oof. Yeah, not sure about that. I've heard about tapeworm.
Yeah, I won't eat my steaks blue, but I'll tell you what, I like a medium because like it doesn't matter if you go a little over or a little under. Fucking.
It's all right in the middle. We could say that, yeah.
Right, bud.
Absolutely. All right, good choice. For the next one here, Damien, what would you consider is your favorite movie?
Iron Man. Robert Downey Jr., 2008.
He has a Black Sabbath, so it still comes full circle. Now he's just thinking of I am Iron Man. So, let's say what. All right. And Jesse?
Favorite movie? Ooh.
That one Legend of Zelda one.
I downloaded the wrong movie.
That was the wrong movie. No. Favorite movie? I always liked The Crow. That was great, but I would probably also go with like Fifth Element.
I think funny enough, I think they are actually doing I don't know if they are doing a Legend of Zelda movie, because I know after the success of Mario, the whole thing with Donkey Kong, I thought maybe they were going to do something with Legend of Zelda. So we can make his dream come true in a way, Damien, when you think about it. So.
Yep.
Okay. And do you mop?
Oh man, favorites or favorite, buddy? Movie? A favorite of anything is hard to determine, right? It might, yeah.
Kids, little kids.
But no, when you're down to favorites, I mean, the world's so diverse. There's so many fucking things to actually just like be inspired by. So I mean, to pick a favorite, like it's almost like it's almost too much honing in for me. There's like so many different types of movies that I would call a favorite. That would be like, let's say, Dazed and Confused, or like Happy Gilmore, or like Chucky. You know what I mean? Like Chucky 2 was sick, So those are really diverse comparatively. So I don't know. Between those types of movies, like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, if you were more specific with like what genre of movie or what's your favorite action movie, what's your favorite horror movie?
Yeah. But as far as favorites are concerned, like if I could just hone in on one, I don't know. I really don't know.
We have to point a gun to his head right now. We have to tell him you can only pick one. So
you can only pick one on repeat. Yeah,
you're in hell.
I'll pick Happy Gilmore, bro.
All right, that's definitely no take on it too. So all right, I'll take it.
You want to go home?
Yeah. Are you too good for your home? Answer me.
We don't get good comedy these days too, so you got to treasure every comedic moment that you can. So
Yeah, exactly. A little nostalgia in there.
Yeah.
That too.
Fight with Bob Barker.
But speaking of nostalgia, I actually started stumbling upon my old cartoons I used to watch way back in the day when I was a kid, Cartoon Network and those ones. So, Ed, Eddie, primarily that one because I really like that one. All right. And moving on to the next one here, Damien, what would you consider is your favorite drink in terms of alcohol and non-alcoholic?
Corona for beer, Jaeger bombs for hard liquor, mead for a wine, and Monster as the only other thing I drink whatsoever during the course of the day. I'm fueled by Monster. There's not blood in here anymore. It's Monster.
Instead of a blood drive, now he did a monster drive, if we want to call it that.
Yeah, that needs an endorsement.
Yeah.
Hard, for real.
I guess what would happen if Dracula was to try to bite into your neck right there, try to suck your blood out?
Literally,
He would bounce around.
he'd experience what most people experience when they do cocaine, I'm pretty sure.
Fair
Like, he
enough.
would clean his apartment super fast and then stare out the windows, I'm pretty sure.
Until daytime, until he had the back end, and then probably stare at the back of his car. Several hours.
He wouldn't sleep for a few days is the short version.
There's that too. Otherwise, he might be obsessed with like a picture that's like just slightly off, and he just wants to keep adjusting it over and over again until he gets it right. Probably major OCD. to be
Groundhog Day
honest.
style.
Yeah.
The great Bill Murray.
Okay. And Jesse?
Favorite alcohol. Yeah, I love mead. I love. I'm usually drinking Miller High Life most of the time. As far, yeah, I love Jaeger bombs, tequila way more than that though. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm usually.
Yeah.
And if it's not alcoholic, then I'll probably have a Coke.
The Coke guy, my man.
Yeah. So for alcoholic, yeah, I was gonna say I usually drink Bush. I usually drink tequila, Terramana, preferably if it, or unless this guy pulls out a fucking wicked bottle. What was the last bottle you pulled out for me, man?
What of mead?
No, of tequila.
Oh no, I got you. It was Termana,
No.
or was it the Lobos?
Lobos.
Lobos.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Lobos, so that's probably.
Yeah.
Well, we got tequila tips from the band BMR when we played with them. They're from Mexico.
That's right.
One guy's actually from Tequila, Mexico.
He said that they really enjoy the 1800, and that's really good if you're if you're not looking to spend a lot of money on a bottle, because both Termana and Lobos aren't the cheapest ones out here, that's for sure. So if you want a nice mid-range Econo type of tequila, then like something that you can buy week by week, and you want that 1800 stuff.
Yeah, non-alcoholic is probably Pepsi though.
So we got opposites attract. So we got a Coke guy and a Pepsi guy. So
Yeah.
that's pretty sweet. Actually, I do remember the 1800 tequilas because he used to be the one to pour your shot right at the cap right there, and it was.
Well,
There's a little commercial right there.
I can have a rye and Coke, but I don't want to have a rye and Pepsi. I prefer a Pepsi on its own.
Or Captain Coke. I mean, how good is Captain with Pepsi?
Well, I don't know.
Good question.
Everywhere you go around here, it's always Coke, right? So, and then I don't really mix the drink myself, and I don't mix it with a Pepsi, right? I'll mix it with a Coke, but Pepsi I drink on its own. So
Be one of life's mysteries at that point. So
Depth.
yeah,
Depth of character.
Yep, there it is.
I won't
Got a little
drink
bit,
Pepsi.
yeah. So yeah, we got a little bit more character development, as we like to say.
Great.
So. All right, and the last of the fun questions. Damien, what would you consider is currently your favorite song, or a song you've been listening to a good bit recently?
Revenant by Pro Sector.
Nice.
Like just a lot of Revenant by Pro Sector. I think it's one of their more underrated songs. It's off an album that's really hard to find, but if you do get a hold of their self-titled, man, is that a good song. Just so heavy, so emotional, and just it doesn't let up from the beginning of it. All their shit's fantastic, but that one's definitely stuck in my player for the last 2-3 weeks.
All right, good choice. And Jesse?
God, I've been listening to so much. I would pull up another band from our local scene here is Seagrave.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
Yeah.
Chris Oush and the boys, shout out.
Yeah. They're fucking awesome.
Lead Singers Club for life.
Edge of the Woods is a great song.
You become the prey.
Yeah. I'd go with that one.
All right. And D-Mop?
Yeah, a personal favorite for me is a song that hasn't even been released. It's called Visionary. I made it with me and my bro back in the day. It's 10 minutes long and it's fucking wicked, but we just never released it. But if there's a shout out to a song that I could do that's like actually out and released and other people can click on it is probably Art of Disaster by Stuck in Neutral. Very good song.
That is a damn good song. I've been lucky enough to get to sing that with them a couple times.
Yeah, very good song.
Sounds good. I guess, do you guys have plans to release that song Visionary sometime in the future, or is it just going to be one of those you hold as personal memory?
That may be a personal memory, but it's also a deep discussion to have with my brothers.
Sounds good. But we should do the chants. Let's do D-Mop, D-Mop, D-Mop. Let's get the release.
Yeah.
Do it. But we'll leave it up to you there, mates. So we'll see what happens. So best luck to you. All right. So Damien, Jesse, and D-Mob, we're down to the last question right here. Before we jump into it, did you guys have any questions for me or any final words you want to say before we jump into it?
We just want to say thank you for having us on.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Letting the audience get to meet us a little bit. We try and say as much as we can between the songs live, but it's really hard in this industry to get to know the people behind screaming "fuck you" at the end of every song. So we just want to say hi to everybody out there in TV land. Thanks for joining us. Support this man. This man does so much for all of the bands in the independent music community. Like, get behind there, like, comment, subscribe. If you're here because of us and you don't subscribe to this, we will make sure that you get a shit cookie.
Yeah.
Look at a dung pie.
From that show.
Yeah.
We should say have a cookie. We do a dung pie instead.
Well,
Thank you so much, Damien. Definitely means a lot. So, all right.
Yeah.
But the last question here goes like this, and you might have harped on it a little bit too, but given what COVID has done, obviously it seems like you guys have been pretty blessed in your own ways, able to keep your jobs and everything, and make some pretty good music as well. For those who've been impacted, whatever it means, COVID or personal struggles or whatever, what sort of message of hope could you give to musicians and people out there as we try to move forward in a post-COVID world?
Just hang in there, man.
Yep.
I would always rather listen to your problem than go to your funeral. And once you hit the age of even 30, you start going to a hell of a lot more funerals than birthday parties. And I mean, mental health was drastically affected by COVID. We lost more people to that, I feel like, than we did to the disease itself because of the isolation. And just know you're not alone. There's always a show happening in your town. And there's 1,000 awesome bands just waiting to meet you.
Yeah.
Get out there, you know? If you ever feel like you should just hide in your apartment on a Friday night because you're bummed, get out to a show meet some people, make friends. We all have to just stop hiding. It's over. We have to move on. But hold on, man. There's no reason to make a permanent solution to a temporary problem. And now I'm walking into the drums.
It's all good.
I'm the only one that didn't drink.
He's still running into stuff right there, man. There's too much weed. That's the thing.
Just enough.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesse D-Mob, can you try to match that? Or is he speaking for all you guys?
No, he's good on that one.
Yeah, he's hit the nail on the head, man.
Yep, just you know what? There's always hope. Never give up. And when it seems like you're losing, either move on or you know what, keep trying. Just you can always say you tried. You know, it's more respectable, but than not doing anything at all.
I was waiting on D-Mob. That's why I was pausing there. I wasn't sure he was going to try anything.
Has D-Mob got anything? D-Mob.
D-Mob, 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 D-Mob.
Fucks it up. Let's fucks it up.
Yeah.
Come on, tell the people what you feel.
Yeah. What would you say to anybody going through hard times?
Say something for the record.
Yeah.
Tell the people what you feel.
Well, the COVID hurt mad people for sure, but I felt really unaffected by it. I couldn't imagine what it was to be affected by it, really, to be honest. I tried to stay in my own bubble anyways, right? I mean, pretty monotonously just getting up and going to work and providing for the family and getting home and trying to hold the fort down, and you know what I mean? So, and I live in a small town, and so it just got to the point where it just, you know, the outside world's going wild, and then all of a sudden, you know, like I said, I was driving on vacant streets, but life was pretty similar for me, so yeah, I can't imagine what it was like for some people.
The question was what to say it again.
Oh, I thought that was...
You forgot the question.
I thought that was prior, to give people hope.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, well.
Be hopeful. Don't be despairing, man. Come on.
That's something positive.
Yeah.
Running on a sad note right here, man.
Have fun works.
Yeah, keep fit and have fun. Just stay focused on the plan. Yeah.
No, Damien, just fill it for him right now. It's kind of falling apart right here.
I don't know.
Darren might be in a dark place right now.
I feel like we might need kids' help phone for Darren.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a ponder. It's a ponder. It's a ponder.
We really do.
It's a mystery. So, yeah.
It's gonna be okay, Darren.
Yeah.
You got
I
it.
think he just looked at our touring schedule, so it might be hard for him to have hope right now because we're swamped.
There's a lot on D-Mob's plate.
Yep. He's despairing at the moment right now. He's trying to wonder how he's going to fall asleep tonight.
Yeah. No, I was just thinking, like, you know, I'm just, you know, you got to get up and just get at it. That's all. But, like I said earlier, it's kind of like a monotonous lifestyle that I just felt like I'm just like continuously fumbling in. But the hope is, like, you know, just keep persevering, man. You know, just bust through it.
You can do it.
You can do it. Yeah,
You can do it.
Bite his fucking head off.
Yeah, like whatever it is that you're striving for, buddy, just go for it, man. Like, just be you.
Send it.
That's it.
Yeah.
We killed a Hydra. I like it. All right. And spoke like a bunch of true prodigies. So there we go. All right.
Yeah.
So Damien, Jesse, and D-Mob, we've reached the end of my podcast right here. We talked for about an hour and 20 minutes, even though we had a little bit of technical difficulties. I think we had more trouble with Damien, though. So, all in all, I think we ended on a high note. So we're all good there. So, did you guys have any final words? Any shout-outs you want to give before we close?
Roses are red.
Violets are blue.
We're Crimson Asphalt.
Fuck you!
That's what we do. All right. I like it.
Hey.
So, I guess, you guys doing any tours? I guess, you want to talk about any new music, any new
We're
promotions or anything?
all over the place. Hold Let me grab the board.
Yeah, you might as well. Might as well grab the board.
I'm just gonna grab the board.
I guess while he grabs it, do you guys want to give any shout-outs real quick to any fans or any other bands you haven't given shout-outs yet in this interview?
Shout out to Pro Sector, Stuck in Neutral,
Yeah.
Divine Curse, Dawn Valley,
Pound of Flesh.
Pound of Flesh for sure.
Yeah.
Cry of Felix, the Army of Dogs, Pretty Face, Sown, Seagrave.
Yeah, so we got all this to try to stay organized with all these shows coming up that we've written.
We have like 26 shows booked right now.
Yeah.
We're booking November.
Is this all in your neck of the woods, or is this in different parts of the county of Ontario?
Yeah, these are all
over the province of Ontario. I think we're going to Montreal in August, so we'll be leaving the province for the first time, which is exciting and also daunting because
We've never done it before.
we haven't done it yet.
Okay.
But much like this entire band, we're just going to absolutely wing it, and it's going to turn out just fine.
Slowly getting us all out of our comfort zones.
That's all you got to do. Get out of the comfort zones every now and again, too. So, best luck on your journey there, mates. So, wish you all the best. So, and just to reiterate for the audience, can you just say what social media you guys are on, and so they can check out your music, as well as streaming platforms?
On Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, TikTok, Apple Music. Just look for Crimson Asphalt. You'll find us.
All right, sounds good. So everyone, my guests today were Damien, Jesse, and D-Mob, hailing from up north in Canada, the true north, part of the band Crimson Asphalt. So if you guys see these guys in your neck of the woods, go check them out. These guys are doing wonders out of the world, kicking some major ass, and delivering the biggest fuck you of all time. So see why.
Absolutely.
All right. So I wish you guys all the best going forward. Y'all stay safe. Rock on.
You're as well,
Stay tuned.
Brian.
Thank you
Very much.